Welcome to Wobbly World. Wobbly World, what a place. Things here are different. Houses lean, trees have square leaves, the sky, oh, it's usually blue or maybe green. Gravity is more of a suggestion here. You might float a bit after breakfast. The sun wears sunglasses, big ones. Clouds are shaped like fluffy sheep. Sometimes they baa softly. Rivers flow uphill. Fish swim backwards. The grass might be purple today. Tomorrow maybe orange with pink stripes. Wobbly World keeps you guessing, always. The air smells like bubblegum, and sometimes burnt toast. Flowers sing little songs. Off-key mostly. Animals talk. Of course they do. They also gossip about the mayor. He's a badger, a very grumpy badger, with a tiny hat. Life here is never ever dull. The roads are paved with rubber chickens. Squeaky, but good for bouncing. Street signs give terrible advice. Go left for dragons, right for cookies. The cookies are usually a trap. Beware. Wobbly World. It's not for everyone, but if you like weird, you'll love it. Grab a funny hat. You'll fit right in. First there's Barnaby Button. Nice guy. He means well, but things break around him. A lot. He trips over air. It's a special talent. He once tried to bake a cake. The kitchen looked like a flower explosion. The cake tasted like sadness. Poor Barnaby. He's our hero. Sort of, mostly by accident. Always wears mismatched socks. It's his look. Then meet Squeaky. She's a squirrel, a bright purple squirrel, with an attitude. She talks a mile a minute, non-stop, full of sarcastic comments and good advice. She rides on Barnaby's head. Good view, loves acorns, and complaining. Her hobbies. Thinks she's the brains of the outfit. She's probably right. Don't tell Barnaby. Professor Quentin Gigglesnort. He's next. A wild-haired inventor. His lab coat is covered in stains. Mysterious stains. He invents amazing things. Usually, things that often go boom, or fizzed, or turn things inside out. His prized invention? The automated banana peeler. It only works on Tuesdays. And only peels pears. He means well too, like Barnaby. Just don't stand too close to his experiments. And finally Big Floof. He's big, a gentle giant, made of something fluffy, maybe cotton candy, or a friendly cloud. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's super strong, and super kind. He gives the best hugs, very squishy. Sometimes he forgets his own name, or why he walked into a room. Relatable. He loves dandelion tea and small kittens, a big heart and a big fluffy body. One day Wobbly World had a problem, a big one. The town ran out of rainbow jelly beans. Oh, the horror! Mayor Badger was furious. Find more jelly beans, he roared, or squeaked. Our heroes accepted the mission. Of course. Barnaby packed snacks, mostly for himself. Squeaky packed her cynicism, always useful. Professor Gigglesnort brought a weird gadget. Big Floof brought, well, Big Floof, their Quest Jelly Bean Mountain, far away. Legends said it was made of pure jelly beans, a sticky, sugary dream. The journey was tough, sort of. They had to cross the Licorice River. Barnaby almost fell in. Squeaky saved him. By yanking his hair, he yelped. Then came the cranky cookie crags. The cookies threw crumbs at them. Rude. Big Floof just ate the crumbs. Problem solved. Jellybean Mountain loomed. It was huge, and very, very wobbly, like its name. Climbing it was tricky, and sticky. Barnaby got his feet stuck, many times. Professor Gigglesnort tried to use his gadget, a de-stickifier ray. It made things stickier. Oops, Squeaky found a hidden path. Smart squirrel. It was guarded by gummy bears, grumpy ones. They wanted a password, or a hug from Floof. Floof gave them hugs. They melted, literally. At the top, a surprise. No jelly beans, just one giant, ancient jelly bean. Enormous, it was gray, and tasted like old socks. Well, this is a bust, Squeaky said. Barnaby poked it, it wobbled. Then it cracked open. Surprise again. Inside, millions of tiny, fresh rainbow jelly beans. Hooray! The town was saved! Barnaby tried to carry them all. He dropped half. Classic Barnaby. But still a hero. Ish. Professor Gigglesnort was bored. Uh-oh. That usually meant trouble. Big trouble. He decided to invent something new. Self-warming socks, he declared. Brilliant! No more cold feet in Wobbly World. He tinkered in his lab. Sparks flew. Strange smells drifted out like burnt cheese. Squeaky held her nose. This won't end well. She was rarely wrong, especially about the professor. Barnaby offered to help. The professor politely declined. Smart move. The socks were ready. Bright orange, with little propellers on the ankles. Why not? Professor Gigglesnort put them on, proudly. Behold, he cried. Warm toes for all. For a moment, nothing happened. Success, then a small pop. Then a bigger pop. Confetti shot out of the socks, everywhere. Red, blue, yellow confetti, a glittery mess. The socks were warm, but also explosive. A minor design flaw, the professor mumbled. News of the exploding socks spread, fast. Some people were alarmed, understandably, others were delighted. Free confetti. Mayor Badger was not amused. His office was filled. "Giggle snort," he fumed. "My hat is full of glitter." The professor tried to fix them. He really did. He added more wires. He consulted his notes. The socks just exploded with more enthusiasm, and now they played a tiny tuba sound. Festive. Barnaby suggested just wearing normal socks. Too simple. The crew tried to help. Big Floof patted a sock. It exploded gently, a puff of pink confetti. Squeaky suggested aiming the confetti for parties. Barnaby tried wearing a pair. Mistake. He ended up covered head to toe. He sneezed glitter. Finally, Wobbly World embraced the chaos. Exploding confetti socks became a fashion trend. Parades featured them, birthdays too. Professor Gigglesnort was a hero, accidentally. His next invention? Self-buttering toast. Oh dear. Section 5. The Case of the Missing Giggles. One morning Wobbly World woke up sad. The giggles were gone, vanished, poof! No one could laugh, not even chuckle. This was a serious crisis. A giggleless world, unthinkable. Our heroes knew they had to act, fast. Barnaby looked for clues. Finally, they found the source, a giant cloud, a very sad gray cloud. "Why are you so sad?" Barnaby asked. The cloud sniffled. "I lost my silver lining," it wept. Professor Gigglesnort had an idea. A good one. They carefully attached shiny tinfoil to the cloud. The cloud giggled, then laughed. Giggles rained down on Wobbly World. Crisis averted. Section 6. Sailing the Seas of Seltzer. Adventure called again, this time the sea, but not just any sea. The Sea of Seltzer. Fizzy, bubbly, prone to making you burp. The mission: deliver a giant birthday cake to Bartholomew the Hermit Crab on Bubble Island. He was turning 300, a big milestone. The cake was huge. Strawberry, with extra sprinkles. Barnaby was in charge of not dropping it. Oh boy. Squeaky was navigator. She had a compass. It pointed to more nuts. Not helpful for sailing. Professor Gigglesnort built the boat, naturally. He called it the Unsinkable 3. The Unsinkable 1 and 2 were at the bottom. This one was made of old bathtubs and hope. It had a paddle wheel powered by hamsters running in tiny wheels. They seemed happy enough. Big Floof was the ballast, and Chief Hugger. They launched the boat. It wobbled. It floated. "To Bubble Island!" cried Barnaby, nearly falling overboard. The seltzer sea foamed around them, tickled their noses. The voyage was eventful, as always. They met fizzy jellyfish, they glowed, and zapped. Professor Gigglesnort tried to catch one. For science. He got zapped. His hair stood up even more. Giant bubbles rose from the deep. Pop! One almost capsized them. Big Floof sneezed it away. A flock of seagulls tried to steal the cake. Squeaky chased them off with angry squirrel noises. Barnaby kept the cake balanced, mostly. Only a few sprinkles were lost to the fizzy waves. They reached Bubble Island. It was made of bubbles. Big, shimmering, surprisingly sturdy bubbles. Bartholomew the Hermit Crab was overjoyed. He loved the cake, even the slightly soggy bottom. He gave them all shiny pebbles as thanks. The hamsters got tiny shell houses. Cute. Sailing home, the Unsinkable 3 lived up to its name. Mostly because Big Floof patched a leak with bubble gum. Another successful mission. Time for a nap. And maybe some anti-burp medicine for Barnaby. Section 7. The Whispering Woods of Whoopee Cushions. Next stop, the Whispering Woods. Sounds peaceful. It wasn't. Not even a little bit. The trees weren't trees. They were giant whoopee cushions. Red ones, green ones, blue ones, all sizes. Every step you took. Pfft, fwomp the BT. The whispers were, well, you get the idea. Our crew had to go through it. Why? To find the legendary silent snapdragon. Its petals cured hiccups. Mayor Badger had them. Bad. A hiccuping badger mayor? Not a good look. Entering the woods was an auditory assault. Barnaby tripped immediately. Pfft. Squeaky tried to walk lightly. Fweep! Professor Gigglesnort analyzed the sounds. For science. Fascinating flatulence frequencies, he muttered. Big Floof just giggled with every step. Thwomp! Giggle! The air was thick with, well, air. And sound. Birds flew with their wings over their ears. Squirrels wore tiny earmuffs. Smart critters. It was hard to have a conversation, very hard. They met the inhabitants. The Toodlepoots. Small, shy creatures covered in fur. They communicated only through whoopee cushion sounds. A short toot meant hello, a long one danger, or maybe I'd like some tea. It was confusing. Professor Gigglesnort tried to talk to them. His whoopee cushion impression was terrible, offended them. Big Floof accidentally sat on a Toodlepoot leader. Luckily, the leader was quite bouncy. and forgiving, he just let out a small, dignified poot. Squeaky, with her keen senses, found the silent snapdragon. It was hidden in a quiet clearing. Miracle, guarded by a very old, very deflated whoopee cushion tree. It just sighed sadly. No more piff. Barnaby carefully picked the flower. Success. Getting out of the woods was just as noisy. Mayor Badger was cured. He was very grateful. He declared a quiet day. It lasted 5 minutes. Wobbly World wasn't built for quiet, but the crew enjoyed the brief silence. Phew. Section 8. The Festival of Flying Flapjacks. It was time for the annual festival. Hooray! Wobbly World's favorite holiday. Almost. The Festival of Flying Flapjacks. Delicious. The whole town gathered. Excitement buzzed. Giant slingshots were set up, aimed at the sky. Cooks flipped flapjacks, thousands of them. Plain ones, blueberry ones, chocolate chip ones. The goal, launch them high, catch them, eat them, simple, messy, perfect for Wobbly World. Barnaby was already drooling. Predictable. Our crew decided to participate, of course. Barnaby manned a slingshot. Bad idea. His first launch sent a flapjack sideways. It hit Mayor Badger's hat. Splat! Syrup dripped down the mayor's nose. He sighed. Squeaky tried to catch. She was too small. A flapjack landed on her head. She wore it. Professor Gigglesnort invented flapjack goggles. To improve catching accuracy, they just got sticky. Big Floof opened his mouth wide. Ready. The air filled with flying breakfast food. Amazing. People cheered. People ducked. People got hit. Kids used umbrellas as flapjack shields. Smart. Dogs tried to catch them mid-air. Talented. Barnaby finally launched one straight up. Success! It went very high, very, very high. Then it came down, right on his own head. Splat! Again! He looked surprised. And sticky. Squeaky giggled. From under her flapjack hat, Professor Gigglesnort's goggles were covered in batter. Big Floof was a champion catcher. Amazing. He caught 10 flapjacks. At once. In his mouth. He chewed happily. A true talent. The festival ended with a giant syrup slide. Everyone slid down, got sticky, laughed a lot. Even Mayor Badger cracked a small syrupy smile. The crew was covered in flapjack bits and happy. They won a prize more flapjacks. Wobbly World loved its traditions, especially the edible ones. Another year, another successful, messy festival. Section 9. Until next time, folks. So, that's a taste of Wobbly World. Wild, huh? And our zany crew. Never a dull moment. Barnaby is still tripping, Squeaky is still sassy, Professor Gigglesnort is still blowing things up, gently. Big Floof is still hugging everyone and everything. They solve problems, mostly by accident. They face danger. Usually involving dessert. They make messes. Big, glorious messes, but they always have fun. That's the main thing. And they always stick together, like sticky flapjacks. Wobbly World keeps on wobbling, as it should. The sun still wears its shades. Cool sun. The rubber chicken roads still squeak, loudly. New adventures pop up every day, like Toast. Maybe tomorrow they'll chase runaway teacups, or teach the grumpy Badger Mayor to tap dance, or find a lost sock that grants wishes. Bad wishes. Who knows what will happen next? That's the fun of it, the glorious not knowing. It keeps life interesting, and slightly terrifying. There are more stories to tell. Oh, so many, like the time the moon got